My friends, for today's ELA practice lesson, I am on page PM 8.28. Now we're going to be using the poem Jack and the Hike to help us fill this out. So today for our reading lesson, we read a poem called Jack and the Hike, and it's about a young boy who uses his map to find his way when he's lost. And we're supposed to use that idea and that map to help us write our own version of the story. So we're going to change things a little bit. We're going to imagine that Jack is with a friend, and we're going to come up with our own problem and solution. So let's see. I'm going to say that Jack's problem is, Jack and his friend want to go to the lake. But they don't know where it is. So for event 1, that's the first thing they decide to do. So I'm going to say they just start walking. They start walking in any old direction. I'll say they start walking west. So if you remember the map from that story, there is nothing to the west. So they start walking west and find nothing. And then I'll say they start walking north. And if you remember from the map from that story, Jack and the Hike, if we walked west and then north, they would eventually run into the path. So that's what I'm going to say happens. They start walking north and find the path. And then what would be a solution to their problem? How can they solve their problem? I will say Jack pulls out his map. And they use it to find their way to the lake. Now, if you don't like my story and you want to come up with your own story, that is totally fine. Just make sure that we have a problem, 2 things that happened in the story, and a solution to their problem. Now I'm moving on to page PM 8.35. We're going to skip 8.34 for now. We will come back to it later in the week. Okay, so on this page we're going to be using some of our high frequency words to fill in the blank spots in each sentence. So we have country, earth, family, friend, paper, and picture. Let's read number 1. My family moved to this blank last year. Would it be my family moved to this country? My family moved to this earth? My family moved to this family? My family moved to this friend? My family moved to this paper? Or my family moved to this picture? Which one makes the most sense? If you said country, you are correct. Moving on to number 2. Before that, we lived on the other side of the blank. Would it be we lived on the other side of the earth? We lived on the other side of the family? We lived on the other side of the friend? We lived on the other side of the paper? Or we lived on the other side of the picture? Before that, we lived on the other side of the earth. Awesome. Number 3, would you hand me that piece of blank? Would it be, would you hand me that piece of family? Would you hand me that piece of friend? Would you hand me that piece of paper? Or would you hand me that piece of picture? If you said paper, you are correct. Would you hand me that piece of paper? Number 4, it shows a blank of my old home. Would it be, it shows a family of my old home? It shows a friend of my old home? Or it shows a picture of my old home? If you said picture, you are correct. It shows a picture of my old home. And number 5, the girl in it is my best blank. Would it be the girl in it is my best family? Or the girl in it is my best friend? If you said friend, you are correct.